Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be covering the Japanese maple Acer tree. I will mainly be focusing on how you grow these beautiful trees from seed. But, like any plant or tree species, there is certain requirements needed before you can grow your own healthy Acer tree. Acers are fussy about where they are placed in regards to full sun and partial shade. It's hard to judge which position they are happiest with if other requirements are not met. This includes how much wind your Acer is exposed to. They prefer very little wind. Cold biting winds will especially dry out the leaves. They prefer being watered regularly, but the tree's roots cannot withstand wet feet, and this brings me on to the soil mix. You will need to create a free draining soil so the water runs quickly past the roots. The soil must also be acidic to neutral on the pH scale. The same sort of soil that roses enjoy. If in doubt, buy a compost bag with a picture of roses on, you can't go wrong. But lastly, don't forget to check your hardiness zone before attempting to grow an Acer. They prefer hardiness zones 5 to 8. They must be kept outside at all times and rely on the winter cold to go dormant, as they are deciduous trees, which means they lose their leaves in winter. Without going through this hibernative state every year like many other tree species, they will eventually die a slow and painful death. So basically, Japanese maple Acer trees are very fussy. If you can meet the requirements, let's move on to growing them from seed. Growing an Acer from seed is a long but rewarding process. I find if you are harvesting the seeds yourself, rather than buying them, it is best to do this around Halloween, the 31st of October. During this period, you should be able to take the seeds that are ready to fall straight off the tree, rather than leaving it slightly later in the year and picking them off the ground. You also don't want to pick too early and risk them not germinating at all. Sowing the seeds is quite simple. Use a seed tray about 4 inches deep. Pre-mix compost that is suitable for seedlings with perlite or vermiculite. Scatter the seeds over your soil mix and then place no more than 1 inch over the top of the seeds to cover them. Use a watering can to cover all areas without disturbing the top layer of soil. This whole process needs to be done as soon as possible, ideally when you pick the seeds in autumn. Failing that and you have bought the seeds, you can do all of this and then put the seed tray in a plastic bag within the fridge for around 12 weeks. But if your seeds germinate too late in the year, with minimal time to grow, they will not make it through their first winter. This is why I prefer to stratify the seeds naturally to break the dormancy phase. Just remember to protect your seeds from the birds and any other seed lovers. Jumping forward to spring, loads of saplings have germinated. They are all different in leaf colour, shape and size, regardless of what the parent tree looks like. This is very common for Acers. I took these seeds from 2 different Acer trees. The only way to get a true clone of a certain type of Acer is to propagate the tree via cuttings or grafting, which would need a standalone video for me to go in depth about. So for now, let's pot up this year's saplings. Push down the soil mix as much as possible. Once the tree within the pot has been watered a few times, the soil level will drop as it becomes more compact. This is the fiddly part. Repotting each sapling needs to be done once they produce their first set of true leaves. Left any longer and their roots will tangle. This is also another good reason to use perlite in your soil mix. The roots can be pulled free much easier than they would in pure compost soil. You'll also find it's easier not to disturb the younger saplings that wouldn't yet survive the move. Try to free the roots that have hooked themselves to the bottom of the seed tray before pulling the sapling out, and grip the tree as close to the soil as possible. Make a hole in each pot, pressing down with your thumb, and then pot up each tree 5 times faster than in real life. I found this to be quite effective and saves a fair bit of time. Plant the saplings so that none of the white is above soil level, but in turn do not overbury them. Once in position, firstly press down around the tree and then press down within the middle of the pot. So, another year, another forest. Please remember all the vital points I mentioned at the start of the video, as the first year of looking after any tree is the hardest. In regards to watering, only water once the top inch of the soil has dried out. I've tried to cram as much information as possible in this short video. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. Also, check out my link as I now sell trees online to anyone within the UK, and look out for further videos I will be shortly publishing. Next up is a dawn redwood tree. See you guys, take care.